Highs and lows, yes, definitely. Critical highs, achieving trust status in the teeth of an extremely difficult testing process which was applied by the government and by the Ministry of Justice. It was a long process, it was a complex process, and we sailed through it, and that's down to the people and the work that they did within West Yorkshire Probation Trust.
I think one of the highs is when you're able to actually make a direct contact with the service or the business that you're engaged with. So for me, working with WizKids, actually seeing how the technicians develop a bespoke wheelchair absolutely made to measure for a child that's had mobility issues, that's not able to partake in their education fully or in their family activities and family life fully, and all of a sudden that whole world is opened up to them, is incredibly rewarding, and that certainly stays with you as a huge motivator.
As far as lows are concerned, lows are generally trading lows where your executive team perhaps have let you down or haven't kept you up to date or informed you of some of the issues that perhaps they should have done. And as a consequence, the company does badly. If they're small companies, that could mean banking situations. If they're large companies, it could mean share price situations. That the non-exec, whilst not directly blamed, clearly will need to ensure that he is involved and helps the company rebuild.
Another high is the creation of this consortium, and also looking at different trading partnerships and arrangements and parallel trading arrangements, looking for example at creating a community interest company, a social enterprise, and possibly if the legislation permits it, I'd actually like to develop West Yorkshire Probation Trust into a John Lewis partnership type operation owned by its staff. That would be my ultimate objective, and that would be another high if I could achieve it.
As a non-executive director, the highs have been around flotations. Generally, successful flotation, always difficult to float your business in whatever marketplace we're in, and if you successfully get your company floated to everybody's satisfaction, to the owner's satisfaction, to the market's satisfaction, to your new shareholder satisfaction, that is really good. Maintaining the momentum, of course, is a different issue.
But it is fun, and I always say, if you can meet good people, have fun, and obviously make some money as well, then you've got all three.
The lows have been when it doesn't work, and you know you're in trouble, and it's having the ability to move out of that and say it's not working.
You know, there are one or two cases where I feel I wish I'd never got involved, but you have to see them through.
Some of the lows are, again, like any lows that you would have as a leadership team running an organisation. Sometimes you have to look at the bottom line, look at efficiencies, and sometimes that means cutting your cloth accordingly and making recommendations about redundancies or about cutbacks. And you know that's about people's livelihoods, and that can be very tough. But it's an important part of the role, and you shouldn't shy away from it. It needs to be done.
The highs of working with a really good non-executive director is seeing the business and seeing the people grow and develop, and that gives you a real buzz.
Lows, dealing with not the politicians, they're bad enough, it's the bureaucrats. If I can be really rude about bureaucrats, I wouldn't trust them to run a bath, let alone a government department.